welcome everyone to another week of the Focus TV. It's episode 27 of the 7th season. We got Octavia White here, Raymond Lyons, Cardell Dudley Jr, and Wilson Tarpe Jr. And we're gonna get straight to it. Cardell, you were in the gym like you are most weeks. Not a shock at all. This week for the Made Hoops DMV Live, who made your list of standouts?
Yeah, man, Made Hoops is a quickly growing circuit that's been around the country. Hosting a lot of AAU teams, non-sponsor and sponsor AAU teams, and they're setting them up to do battle. On one hand, that's great. You know what I mean? You got players that may not be seen that much by college coaches, getting their chance, getting their crack at the more high-profile guys on, sponsor teams and stuff, and get to show what they can do, man, especially in this climate today. Most high school players need every opportunity they can get to play in front of college coaches, and this past weekend was as good as any. Made Hoops came down to the St. James of Virginia, held the DMV Live, and for what people don't understand is, the difference between the live period is when college coaches can actually physically come out and watch you play. Any other time, if it's not the live period, they can't do that. They have to either watch it on live stream or, try to keep up best way they can, but they physically can't be there at the game. So that's what made this past weekend very important for, prospective, high school players, man. It's tougher than ever to get offers, and this was a chance to show and prove. But like Wilson said, there were certain guys locally, that I made my rounds that really jumped out at me. First one was Jacob Wimbush. He plays on the World Vito Blue Elite, 17 and under, 6'4", senior, graduates in 2025. Super athletic kid, man. Been hearing his name, and when I first walked in the gym to watch him play, the way he was athletic, dunking the ball, and I mean in traffic, getting the offensive rebound, going right back up and dunking it, he looked like he was about 6'8", 6'9", but when I walked on the court, I realized he was 6'4", so that makes it even more, scary for opponents that he's that strong and that athletic at that size to be, dunking like he's a big man in traffic, and he did it routine. And he does, and the thing I love about him, he doesn't just use his athleticism on the offensive end, shooting over opponents or dunking. He gets after on defense. He's a demon on defense. He really uses his strength and athleticism, to really bother opponents. And at the high school level, man, he pretty much guard 1 through 5 because of his strength. It's not really much, he can deal with depending on, the type of caliber of opponent that he's dealing with. Look, streaky 3 levels shooter. He can score from 3 levels, but right now he's streaky with work. You can see him getting way more efficient at that, especially with his athleticism. And another thing I love, he competes. He has a high motor. He doesn't just, just play for points and highlight real dunks and stuff like that. And, some guys play defense, but they're motivated to try to get the steal block so they can get out transition, show what they can do. He also gets timely stops. So even if he can't make the play with the steal or block or causing turnovers, he gets timely stops as well, which doesn't compromise your overall team defense. So, I like what I saw out of him, man. He's definitely someone, the D2, D1 level should be looking at hard, throughout the senior year. Next up was his teammate, Landon Kelly, 6'3", same thing, senior, graduates next year in 2025. Versatile defender. He's not as strong and as athletic as Wimbush, but he gets it done in his way. He does it with smarts and understand the angles and good lateral quickness. Unlike Wimbush, who can hit shots, but he's not a shooter. Kelly's a shooter. When he pretty much just inside NBA range, you got to guard him. If he has daylight, he's letting it fly and he can hit it, and it doesn't matter where he is on the floor. He also can handle the ball. He's great out of pick and roll. And he's dangerous because of the way he can shoot. Most players, they use their ball handling coming off the screens to try to dictate what they're going to do. If they're going to try to score or make a play, he uses his shooting to his advantage. So when he's coming off, he's baiting the defender to come out at him. And if you don't, it's pretty much going to be automatic. So you have to jump out at him, and he understands that, and he uses that to his advantage. And he's an underrated playmaker as well. You know what I mean? When they jump out at him, he understands how to get past them. And if he doesn't have a good shot, he understands how to find guys. So, he has the tools to be a nice all-around guard at the next level as well. Next up is Rafael Marcinez. He plays for Maryland Movement, 5'11", He's actually graduating this spring. He's one of those players that just got caught up because of his size, the eye test or whatnot, but he could ball. And the fact that he's a senior, I think he's trying to get that elusive D1 scholarship. Obviously my advice to him is take what's on the table. Hopefully he has something on the table because he could play at the next level for sure. Highly, highly smart, high IQ floor general, true floor general, one of the floor generals that, a lot of people these days feel they don't need. And then when you get going, you realize you need it. He's that guy. Crafty scorer. He's a good facilitator. Tenacious defender, man. For him to be small in height, he's stocky. So he uses that to his advantage where he gets up in guys. Tough doesn't go anywhere, plays sound defense, and he bothers guys. He forced a lot of turnovers with guys just trying to dance on him. They couldn't get past him. They kept making the mistake of trying to test him, and it just didn't work out. And, he has a toughness that he plays with on both ends that makes up for his lack of size. And that's why I feel like he has a chance. If you're smart and you're tough, you can make up for the disadvantages you may have in your game, especially the smaller you are. So he's definitely a player. Hopefully he gets the offers that he's looking for because he could definitely help out a number of college teams. Next up is Caleb Gillis out of Takeover National, 17 under, 6 foot, senior as well. Tough kid, man, highly competitive. He's very fast. He's a 3-level scorer, good defender, very dangerous in transition, man. You really got to stop him. He's one of those guys, he's a blur in transition. He can handle the ball, and he looks for every opportunity to push the pace. So you really have to plug him to not only keep him at bay, but keep Takeover National 17U at bay. Because they get a lot of their points off of that, you know what I mean? So, but he's competitive. He got on the floor for loose balls, won a lot of 50-50 balls. He makes winning plays, man. And for him to be small, he shows more heart than a lot of bigger players, and that's what helps him get the edge on them. When they possibly should get the edge on them, man. Just a talented kid. It's gonna be eager to see how he develops this summer. And going into the high school season, for those that know, he plays at Sidwell Friends, one of the top, if not the top high school program in our area. So, a lot of guys leave him. He'll definitely get his chance to be one of the main focuses. Obviously with the Caden Lewis and all those guys in the backcourt. With the way he plays, it's gonna be they're gonna be tough to deal with next year as well. Elijah Flowers, Takeover National, 6'8", 2024. Senior, versatile wing, can handle the rock, attack the basket. One thing I love about him, he can defend 1 through 5 with his size and athleticism and his length. He's fairly athletic. He's not super athletic like Wimbush is, where he just wows you with it, but he gets the job done. One thing I saw that had caused pause with college coaches or whatnot, he has to improve his passing and decision making with the ball. A lot of times, man, he just hurried. He hurried when pressure was applied, had a few turnovers that he just took his time and just saw what was in front of him and just made, the basic play instead of trying to go for the home run. It'd have been some good solid plays for him. And those turnovers wouldn't have happened and it wouldn't have hurt the team. But regardless, he makes up for it on the defensive end and his effort and his energy. You know what I mean? He's also a very good offensive rebounder, man. You know what I mean? So just fine-tuning his ball skills and his decision-making will just take his game to a whole new level. And then I think he won't be in our market. There would be no need for him to play AAU right now because he would be signed somewhere. Next up is Caden Samuels, plays for Takeover EYBL 16s, 6'6", 2026. Going into his junior year, just finished his sophomore year, plays for Bishop McNamara. Explosive, tough, 3-level scorer. He's one of those guys that just gets buckets. We have a long history of those guys, just a natural scorer, man, but he's explosive with his first step. When he gets in the lane, he dunks everything. He's crafty at scoring, man. It's not just basic things. He can handle the ball. He understands how to create space. He's just a extremely hard guard, and he's extremely confident. He knows he's good, you know what I mean? And that's half the battle, you know what I mean? So, with his skill, his athleticism, the way he can score from all 3 levels and score in every way, off the bounce, spotting up, on the move, posting up, lobs, transition, getting to the free throw line. however you want it, he can give it to you, man. And that's why he's one of the top players in the area, and he's already coveted by a lot of big-time schools. Now, next up is Jordan Hunter, who also plays for Takeover EYBL 16, 6'3", 2026, big floor general, good facilitator, tough defender, tough. Like, he loves to defend 94 feet. He uses his 6'3" frame, and he gets up in guys. And with his lateral quickness and speed, it's hard for guys to get around him. Even when they get a step, he finds a way to get back in front of him, and he's physical. You're going to feel him, 94 feet, and he loves that. He's also an efficient scorer, a high IQ player. He routinely turns down shots because he's a very gifted shooter in his own right, but he lets his playmaking sets up his scoring, which is rare for high school players. Normally you see the scoring setup, all that stuff. Now he looks to get everybody else involved, and then he gets his, being in the showing that he can be a true floor general, or he can go to the two and score as well. And he did show that he can play off the ball as well. So I think he's projected to be like more of a combo guard, but I could easily see teams looking at him to be their main point guard because he can run the team. You know what I mean? And he's another confident player as well. Not as confident as Caden. Caden borderline cocky, but I love him, man. If you don't like it, stop him. It's as simple as that. But both of them are talented. But Jordan, he has the tools, man, to be special. Moving on. Matthias Lee, Takeover EYBL 16s again, 6'7", 2026. As you notice the theme, Takeover, they normally have a lot of talented players throughout the area. It's been going on pretty much since they started back in 2010 or whatnot. So when they won their first EYBL, so it's nothing new, man. They always gonna have, their share of the cream of the crop, so to speak. But I love how versatile he is, man. Extremely versatile forward. He can play both guard and forward. Has great instincts. Has a skill at either position to play the 3 or the 4. Has great range defensively due to his size and length. I say he can guard 1 through 4. He's a little bit thin and young, so as he grows to his size, he'll eventually be able to deal with 5s in high school. Obviously, with the caliber of talent he is, he's gonna be dealing with high major guys throughout his high school career and throughout AAU, obviously. So the center position, it gets real down there, man. But 1 through 4, he should be able to hold his own already. Mid-range shooter. He can knock down some threes, but that's not his strength. But I think it will be as he gets stronger. And, his ball handling, is solid. But once he gets better with that, with his size and athleticism, he can get ugly, because I can see him easily being 1-2 dribble dude, and he's elevating and dunking on people routinely. Right now, he relies on, Jordan Hunter and Samuels to set him up for dunks and to get him going right now. But once he ran out his offensive game with what he could do defensively and his physical tools, he could be a special player. Last 3, Godwin St. Pierre, plays for Mid-Atlantic Select, 17 under, 5'8", playing up 17s. He's in the class of 2026, and he just may be the best floor general that I saw this weekend. Just high, super high IQ, man. Tough too. He gets after it defensively. He uses his size, and he's small. He's a pest. Y'all know my rule with small guards, man. If you're gonna be small, you better be a pest, man. It's gonna be hard to play you because guys can already get to their spot and shoot over you because you're small. So you got to take something away. And he takes away guys' ability to try to dribble against them. There was a lot of frustrated guards this weekend. He makes smart decisions. Mass out of the pick and roll. He understands pace. He understands when to go, when not to go, how to slow up his speed, when to speed up, to keep defenders off balance. And he understands how to hit his bigs with that's either slipping to the basket or rolling to the basket. He understands lob plays. He understands how to get the ball to shooters in the corner when he's coming off of screen sets. He's just a technician out there as a point, man. Special kid. And he can shoot. If he's open, it's automatic. He can play off the ball and he can knock it down moving without the ball. So for him to be that nice, to be that young, man, it's scary where he's going to be in the next couple of years, man. And you know what I'm saying? And don't let him grow. If he get about 5'11", 6 feet with what he can do now and just fine-tuning what he already has, he easily going to be one of the top players in our area, if not the nation. He's that special. Next up is actually a foreigner, Denise Gokwanar, plays for Mid-Atlantic Select as well, 17 and under, 6'5", going into his senior year of high school. Not much of a shooter right now, but he got everything else. everything else, man. He guards multiple positions. He can rebound, transition. He's unstoppable because he's tough. He can handle the rock. He loves contact, and he can finish inside. He can score inside. And he's not just a great passer where he gets the job done. He has a little flair with him, man. So he understands how to look guys off and find the guy that he really wants to get them in prime scoring position. He's just another big guard, and he can play the 1, 2, or 3. Due to his size and his toughness, man. And he's just a kid that loves to play basketball. You can just tell. Once he get a jumper, man, it's really not gonna be much you could do with him because he could do everything else. He's strong in everything else. That's the only thing that's lacking right there. And every now and then he'll hit a few shots from the outside, but getting more efficient from there, that's the only thing holding him back. And last but not least, one of the players who I feel is one of the best in the area, if not the country, Mason Ellison, Mid-Atlantic Select 17U, 6'4", 2025, super athletic kid. His range defensively due to his size and his length and his athleticism is scary. He had one play where he literally came from the elbow 3-point range, ran across the court after his teammate got beat and stripped the ball. That range and stripped the ball from as the guy was driving from the top of the key, stripped him by the free throw line. So not only he anticipated well, but he got over there fast enough where the guy couldn't even really get in the paint, and he stripped and went the other way and scored. And I'm like, that's special. That's big time, like NBA type of play. You know what I mean? With it on defense, and you just don't see that a lot these days in high school. He's also a nice mid-range shooter. He can be streaky from 3-point range, but he can hit it. Good passer. He has the tools, man. For him, it's just fine-tuning the 3-ball and getting stronger. Because once he could physically, more so with his strength, impose his will, he's another one that he would be tough to deal with because he already is, man. He's one of the top scorers in the area. Just adding those two elements to his game will round out his game as well. And at the high school level, won't be nothing you could really do with him. And then it's just a matter of him getting to college and adapting to that. And it's easy to project him possibly being a pro with what he has now. So those are my standouts from Made Hoops DMV Live. I'll be back with some more as the summer, goes along.
All right, and everyone, don't forget to get over to finestmag.com. And also on IG, Cardell, even with some of the clips I was sharing, some nice little detailed little notes on some of the players with the videos that we shared. I know y'all couldn't see it on screen in terms of words, but some words with some really good insight along with the videos. All right, we're going to slide over to the